The trees have eyes. I like to think of myself as a nature painter specializing in trees. Actually, when the limbs fall off, I noticed that they looked like eyes, and all I did was add a little makeup. But it gives a certain insight into the nature of nature as well, about this love of our interaction with nature. And I feel that this great question we're embarked upon now of how do we give ourselves permission to say that maybe I can no longer try to correct the ills of the world nor reprimand my neighbor, but I can actually turn once again and ask, what and how can nature help restore? Because Emerson, who is one of my most, adored writers and thinkers and philosophers, really wrote about self-reliance and nature as essentially great medicine, a way of reclaiming one's own experience rather than simply the chatter and chaos of the world's likes and dislikes, because he as well was writing in a difficult time during the times that lead to the Civil War. But I feel that his story and what nature's story is, and what our story in particular is now, is the recognition that it isn't about more. It isn't about condemnation. It isn't about hate. It isn't about who's wrong. It's about the final question of where can I reclaim? Not that which I dislike, but my humanity, my sense of being human matters. Because there are many who talk about transhuman, meaning being more than human, and the story nature tells us is there's no such thing as being transhuman until you become truly human. And even Darwin himself said that human consciousness is how we develop what our true evolution is. How we see ourselves in the stars is what Einstein said. And so now we go back to Emerson as well, who said, when you see yourself in nature, as part of nature, you begin to listen to other languages, other ways of seeing and being that liberate you not to be contained, but to finally participate. Maybe not to paint eyes on trees, but to say, here I can breathe. Here I can look into the story of my humanity, not as something that is isolating, but I am what feels isolated. So how do I reconnect? And I think this is essential for all of us now. It's not what do you hate, but what do you love? Where can you breathe? Where can you look with empathy rather than disdain? Because if we think about timelessness, this is nature. But so are our libraries. And all of our libraries are full of the torment of every age and every anxiety, just as we are feeling. But the timelessness in the library tells us that it's not that story, but we're the outcome of this being told over and over again. So like nature, it says, maybe you are a natural growth that is responding to weather that is constant in the human condition, a type of dark alchemy that insists upon our figuring a way. And because we can't know ahead of time, we have to turn it into art. We have to turn it into music. We have to transmute our despair into something that isn't about despair, but about a greater beauty, even if it's a beauty we can't see directly, but we sense. And this is where nature holds us as well. This is, I remind you, if you stand with redwoods or you stand with trees, they say, I'm not trying to get anywhere. My roots are here. So stand with me and remember, your roots are here. Honor me. Honor that you are nature as well. And nature, as you think of as something distant, is simply yourself seeking to wish yourself home, to welcome you home. And if you're me, take a little paint, dab a little on, and the trees can wink at you. Thanks.